Our planet holds places where time seems to have stood still, spaces where history, culture, and nature coexist in extraordinary harmony. They are not just beautiful landscapes or remnants of the past, but living settings that help us understand who we are and how we got here. UNESCO protects these sites because they represent knowledge, ways of life, and environments that deserve to be experienced, not just remembered. On this journey, we will travel through some of the world's most impressive heritage sites, exploring them with calm, curiosity, and respect, to discover why they continue to inspire awe generation after generation. Bagan, Myanmar. In the heart of Myanmar stretches a seemingly endless plain, dotted with thousands of ancient structures that rise gently from the ground. Bagan doesn't reveal itself all at once. It unfolds gradually. As visitors explore, temples, stupas, and shrines appear, forming one of the most expansive cultural landscapes on the planet. Between the 9th and 13th centuries, this region was the heart of a powerful kingdom, and its architectural legacy still dominates the horizon. The transition between each point on the route feels natural, as if the space itself invites leisurely contemplation. What distinguishes Bagan is not just the sheer number of monuments, but the interplay between architecture and light. Brick walls, reliefs, and ancient murals take on new dimensions as the day progresses. From certain elevated vantage points, the landscape transforms into an infinite sequence of forms that appear to float above the plain. This visual harmony conveys a sense of continuity between spirituality, the environment, and human creativity. Exploring Bagan is an experience that goes beyond the visual. It's about perceiving how a civilization respectfully left its mark, allowing the natural and cultural landscapes to complement each other in a balance that still inspires awe. Tikal, Guatemala. In northern Guatemala, the dense jungle conceals one of the most influential cities of the Mayan world. Tikal doesn't reveal itself immediately. First, you hear the sounds of the forest, then trails appear, and suddenly, the pyramids emerge from the treetops. This gradual discovery makes the visit a profoundly immersive experience. For centuries, the vegetation protected the structures, preserving temples, plazas, and palaces that today allow us to understand the complexity of this civilization. The transition between nature and architecture is constant, creating a sense of mutual respect between both worlds. From the highest points, the view reveals a green sea punctuated by the silhouettes of ceremonial buildings. Tikal was a political, religious, and scientific center. With a meticulously planned urban design, its buildings demonstrate an advanced knowledge of astronomy, reflected in alignments that mark solar cycles and celestial events. Exploring this place is not just about observing ruins, but about understanding how a city can engage with its surroundings without imposing itself. The experience invites reflection on human ingenuity and its capacity to create enduring spaces that, even today, continue to convey wisdom and harmony. Ouro Preto, Brazil. Ouro Preto stretches across rolling hills like a city that has chosen to preserve its memory intact. Located in the state of Minas Gerais, this former Brazilian gold capital offers an urban landscape where every slope compels you to slow down and observe carefully. The cobblestone streets, polished by centuries of foot traffic, connect houses with light-colored facades, wooden balconies, and ceramic tile roofs that seem to converse with the light. Walking through the city is a physical and emotional experience, where the architecture isn't viewed from afar, but rather envelops the visitor at every step. This sense of historical continuity creates an immediate link between the present and a past that still defines the identity of the place. As a natural transition, the journey inevitably leads to its most symbolic spaces, where art and history converge. The churches of Ouro Preto are at the heart of this experience. Built during the colonial period, they stand out for their artistic richness and their integration with the surrounding environment. Inside, the wood carvings, gilding, and Baroque forms reflect a moment of great local creativity. Beyond the aesthetic, the city played a key role in shaping Brazilian political thought, serving as the stage for movements that paved the way for autonomy. Today, exploring Ouro Preto is like stepping into a living museum, where there are no barriers between the observer and history. Every corner invites you to stop, listen, and understand how a city can transform into a continuous narrative that keeps speaking to the world. Ushguli, Georgia. From South America, the journey continues toward the Caucasus, where Ushguli appears as a stone cluster suspended among mountains. This village, located more than 2,100 meters above sea level, is one of the highest inhabited communities in Europe. Its image is unmistakable. Sturdy houses and medieval defensive towers line a landscape dominated by snow-capped peaks. These structures were not conceived as monuments, but as practical responses to a demanding environment. The feeling upon arrival is that of entering a place where time moves according to a different logic, marked by the seasons and the geography. This natural isolation serves as a transition to a profoundly authentic cultural experience. For centuries, Ushguli remained connected to the rest of the world only intermittently, especially in winter, when the roads were covered in snow. This condition allowed their language, traditions, and social organization to be preserved with uncommon fidelity. Daily life here unfolds in close connection with the landscape, and the horizon is constantly watched over by mountains that command respect and silence. Exploring Ushguli is not merely about observing its architecture, but about understanding how a community has managed to adapt without relinquishing its identity. It is a clear example of how human presence can integrate with nature without altering it, offering a lesson in balance that remains relevant today. Los Glaciares National Park, Argentina. In the far south of Argentina, Patagonia unfolds a territory where the landscape seems to be in constant transformation. Los Glaciares National Park stretches between mountains, lakes, and enormous ice formations that define the character of the place. Here, the journey becomes a sensory experience, where silence, the wind, and vastness dominate every moment. The tones of the ice vary from white to deep blue, depending on the light, creating a scene that invites contemplation. This transition between land, water, and ice reinforces the feeling of being in front of a landscape that continues to be shaped by the passage of time. The park is not only remarkable for its visual beauty, but also for the diversity of ecosystems it harbors. Large birds soar above the valleys, while cold-adapted species find refuge in this protected environment. Walking along the designated trails allows visitors to observe these landscapes up close without disturbing them, within a regulated and safe setting. The glaciers serve as a reminder that the history of the planet is not written solely by human societies, but also by the natural processes that continue to operate. Exploring this area is an invitation to understand the magnitude of the Earth and to appreciate the importance of preserving landscapes that tell the story of millions of years of evolution. Bhaktapur, Nepal. Just a few kilometers from Kathmandu, Bhaktapur reveals itself as a city that has preserved its artisanal spirit throughout the centuries. Walking through its streets is like stepping into an urban network where red brick, carved wood, and open squares form a coherent and vibrant whole. Unlike other historical centers, here daily life hasn't been displaced but rather coexists with the cultural heritage. Pottery workshops remain active, markets maintain their traditional rhythm, and temples mark the passage of time with a contagious serenity. This continuity creates a natural transition between past and present, offering an authentic and intimate experience for those who explore the city at a leisurely pace. The heart of Bhaktapur beats in Durbar Square, a space where architecture achieves a refined and balanced expression. The stepped temples, sculptures, and courtyards reflect the high artistic level of the ancient Kathmandu Valley Kingdom. The Nyatapola Temple stands out, a five-tiered pagoda that dominates the surroundings with a solid and harmonious presence. Beyond its visual appeal, Bhaktapur demonstrates how a city can be preserved without becoming a static stage set. Exploring it is to understand that heritage is not only what is observed, but also what is practiced and passed down, generation after generation. Samarkand, Uzbekistan. Samarkand immediately evokes images of caravans, trade routes, and cultural encounters. Located in the heart of Central Asia, this city was one of the major hubs of the Silk Road. As you explore it, you perceive a sense of spaciousness and order, where monumental spaces are designed to impress without overwhelming. The transition between streets and squares leads to architectural ensembles that reflect centuries of intellectual and artistic exchange, creating an experience that combines history and visual wonder. The Registan is Samarkand's most recognizable symbol. Its madrasas, covered in blue mosaics and geometric patterns, form a harmonious whole. Sunlight reflects off thousands of tiles, creating a dynamic effect throughout the day. This space was for centuries a center of learning, where science, arts, and philosophy were studied. Exploring Samarkand today is to rediscover a city that not only preserves its legacy, but proudly projects it. Every architectural detail conveys the idea that knowledge and beauty can coexist and reinforce each other through time. Subak Rice Terraces, Indonesia. On the island of Bali, the Subak Rice Terraces create a landscape where human intervention blends harmoniously with nature. These terraces, created over 1,000 years ago, descend the hillsides in gentle curves that follow the contours of the land. The visual journey is continuous, guided by the water flowing from the mountains. Canaima National Park, Venezuela. In southeastern Venezuela lies a territory that seems to predate everything known. Canaima National Park is characterized by its flat-topped rock formations, known as tepuis, which rise majestically above the rainforest. These stone giants create a unique landscape, where the scale defies perception. Exploring Canaima involves traveling along tranquil rivers, across open plains, and past natural viewpoints that reveal unforgettable panoramas. The transition between each space reinforces the feeling of being in an environment that remains virtually untouched. Canaima National Park, Venezuela. In southeastern Venezuela lies a territory that seems to predate everything known. Canaima National Park is characterized by its flat-topped rock formations, known as tepuis, which rise majestically above the rainforest. These stone giants create a unique landscape, where the scale defies perception. Exploring Canaima involves traveling along tranquil rivers, across open plains, and past natural viewpoints that reveal unforgettable panoramas. The transition between each space reinforces the feeling of being in an environment that remains virtually untouched. The summits of the tepuis harbor isolated ecosystems, with natural conditions that have fostered the development of unique life forms. Among these formations is Angel Falls, a waterfall that plunges from a great height and transforms into mist before reaching the ground. The experience of witnessing this phenomenon evokes a sense of quiet awe. Canaima invites us to reflect on the age of the planet and the importance of preserving spaces where nature expresses itself without interference. Exploring this park is a lesson in humility and an opportunity to reconnect with the Earth's vastness. Dubrovnik, Croatia. On the shores of the Adriatic Sea, Dubrovnik rises as a walled city that constantly engages with the blue horizon. Its silhouette, defined by stone walls and reddish roofs, creates a first impression of strength and elegance. Upon crossing its gates, visitors enter a space where every street seems to have been designed to guide their gaze and their steps. The light-colored stone reflects the Mediterranean light, and the sound of the sea constantly accompanies the journey. This connection between city and natural environment serves as a perfect transition to a profoundly immersive urban experience. For centuries, Dubrovnik was an independent republic that based its prosperity on trade, diplomacy, and knowledge. This history is evident in its palaces, monasteries, and squares, which maintain a remarkable architectural coherence. Walking along the walls offers a complete perspective of the historic center and the sea, revealing how the city managed to protect itself without becoming isolated. Today, Dubrovnik is an example of conscious preservation, where cultural heritage remains active and accessible. Exploring it is not just about admiring its beauty, but about understanding how a community can adapt to the passage of time without losing its essence or its connection to the landscape. Cliffs of Etretat, France. On the northern coast of France, the cliffs of Etretat present a landscape where geology and the sea have collaborated for millennia. The white chalk formations rise above the ocean, forming arches, spires, and promontories that change appearance with the light and weather. Walking along the coastal paths allows you to observe how the wind and water continue to sculpt the rock, creating a constant sense of movement. This transition between solid ground and open horizon invites leisurely exploration, where each step offers a new perspective of the natural landscape. From above, the contrast between the white cliffs and the blue sea is mesmerizing. From below, the scale becomes even more impressive, revealing the quiet power of a landscape that needs no human intervention to stand out. Etretat has inspired artists and travelers alike with its ability to convey emotion through form and light. Exploring this place is a sensory experience that reinforces the idea that nature, when protected, can become an ever-evolving masterpiece. It is a reminder that some of the most valuable heritage lies in the direct relationship between time and the elements.